Hi there and a huge welcome to Steve's Kitchen. I got asked the other day if I've made Mille Crêpes before. I think that was Hans on Facebook. Yes, I have made it. It means basically 1,000 crêpes or a big pile of pancakes. I'm going to take that idea today, make my own recipe, which you are going to absolutely love. I'm going to call it the Chocolate Pancake Tower. This is so simple, it will impress your friends. Come on, let me show you how. We're going to be making a flat crepe style pancake rather than the fluffy ones. So let's get and make our batter. Come down here. I've just got 1 cup of all-purpose flour and I'm going to sift it because I don't want lumps in there. A couple of tablespoons of sugar. This is a slightly sweet batter. I'm going to pop 2 eggs into there as well. Whole eggs. Just going to add a tablespoon of oil in there as well. Just a little pinch of salt. And I've got 200 mils, that's a little under a cup of full cream milk. Just going to pop that in there as well. And I want a little flavour in there as well, so I'm going to use some vanilla bean paste. You could use vanilla extract, just half a teaspoon. And let's take a whisk and just start to mix this up into a nice batter. And what we're going to do is just leave that pancake batter on the side for about 30 minutes just to allow it to absorb all the moisture. I'm going to be using a fairly small frying pan, a little non-stick one to make my pancakes. This one's about 5 inches. Now just come down here. I'm going to pour the batter now into something that I can pour into the pan with. Now I just love making pancakes. It's one of the first things my kids learn to make. Now just come down here. We've got our pan on, not a super high heat here, but you do want the pan to heat up a little bit before you start. So the pan is up to heat. I'm just going to take some of my pancake batter and pour it in the center there, probably a few tablespoons, and then we're just going to shape it around a little bit like that. Now you're going to notice after a few moments that the pancake batter starts to dry. The center here is still wet. Now quite often the first pancake fails, but this one looks like it's going okay. I'm just going to take a little spatula and spin it around just to release the edges like that. And here is where the fun begins. I just give that a little shake to loosen it off, bring it back here, pop it over like that, back down onto the heat. I'm just going to give it about 20 seconds on that side. Little stir around, bring it over to my plate, pop it down there and get on and make, I want about 10 at least of these pancakes. So leave me to get on and make the rest of them, and when I've done them all, come back and I'll show you what I have. Now look at those, I've got 10 wonderful round crepes. They do need to be about the same size. I'm going to leave these to completely cool down and we're going to make a filling for our cake. I'm going to be layering those pancakes with a filling between. I'm going to use a Creme Patisserie, which I think tastes really good with this. But if you don't want to make it, you can always use cream or Nutella or peanut butter, whatever you like. But let me show you how to make a Creme Patisserie very quickly. Now the first thing to do is just take a cup of full cream milk into a small saucepan and just pop that on the stove to heat up. In the meantime, I've got 3 egg yolks, 3 tablespoons of regular sugar, a tablespoon of all-purpose flour, half a tablespoon of cornstarch or corn flour. Just going to add a splash of vanilla extract in there as well. And take a whisk and just beat this up into a cream. That's what we're looking for, a nice even vanilla cream like that. Now you can see my milk has just started to come to the boil. We don't want to cook these egg yolks off, so what I'm going to do is whilst mixing, just put a little splash into the bowl, and this is just to temper the eggs and stop them from cooking. Now what you're going to do is just dribble this milk in nice and slowly whilst you continue to whisk. So that's all the milk in there now. Just continue to whisk this through, just for a moment or so, and then I'm going to pour that back into my saucepan. And then using my ridiculously inappropriately small whisk, because I've lent my whisk out to somebody, I'm just going to bring this back up to the heat, but you do need to mix right in the corners and just maybe lift it off the heat a little bit. And you want to continue to whisk this until it thickens. Now you'll see that starting to thicken up there. That is what we're looking for. Now I'm going to take that off the heat now and leave it just to cool down a little bit on the side. Now here's a little tip, come down here. This is basically just a custard. Now if you want to stop a skin forming on the custard, take a little bit of plain sugar and sprinkle it over the top. And that will stop it from forming a skin. And now we're going to assemble our pancake tower. I've got my first pancake. I've just popped it on a little cooling rack like this. What I want to do is take the Creme Patisserie or whatever you decided to use. Just going to pop a tablespoon or so on there, and we're going to use a small spatula and just spread it across the top of the pancake. Try to get a nice even surface like that. Then what I'm going to do is take the next pancake in the pile. I'm going to turn it upside down because their little frilled edges are turning down and I want them to face downwards. I'm just going to pop that pancake evenly on top. Take a little bit more of my Creme Patisserie. And again, I'm just going to use the back of my spatula to flatten this out. Now I'm going to continue and build this up, and you can come back in a moment and join me. Now the last pancake, of course, we are not going to top, so I'm just going to pop this one on top of there. This time I'm putting it with the brown side up. There is our stack of pancakes. Now I want to leave those to cool down while I get on and make a chocolate ganache. Now this is simple, just have a look here. We have 200 grams of dark melting chocolate in a bowl, and I'm going to put 100 milliliters, about 100 grams of thick whipping cream in there. What you have here is basically half cream to chocolate. This now goes in the microwave for about 30 seconds to a minute. The cream is going to heat up and melt the chocolate. Now in my microwave, that is just 60 seconds. The cream is now hot enough to have melted the little chocolate melts. I'm just going to start to mix this together, and you will see you'll get a wonderful silky ganache. See how beautiful that is? It's as simple as that. Now, as this ganache is at the moment, it's a little bit too thin to coat our cake. So I just want it to sit on the side here for about 45 minutes to let it get a little bit firmer. Now, underneath the pancakes, I put a plate to catch any excess chocolate. What I'm going to do now is just pour my ganache over the top, like so. And then using the back of a spoon, I'm just going to ease it over the edge and just let it trickle down. We want to actually coat the side of the pancakes as well. And you can take the spoon and just push it up against the side of the pancakes. I do want to get a reasonably even coating. So now I'm just using the back of the spoon, letting the chocolate ooze over the edge here. And there we have it, look, still dripping with chocolate. Now I'm going to pop this in the fridge and let it set, and then I'll show you what we've got. Now I've given time for our chocolate pancake tower to set a little bit. Just come down here because we've got to get it off the rack. So I've got a couple of crank handled spatulas which I'm just going to slide under the cake. And then we're just going to lift it. And I just want to gently pop this down onto a cutting board. Now I've popped my knife into some hot water just to warm it, and I'm just going to dry it off on a little bit of cloth. We're going to take that hot knife and we're just going to cut down all the way through our pancake cake. I'll just clean off that knife again, get it nice and hot, turn the board round, and I'm going to cut this into quarters. And lastly and importantly, I'm going to cut myself a slice. Now you can go any size you like, but just look how pretty this is going to look. I'm just going to pull that out for a beautiful reveal, and there it is. There is my chocolate tower pancake cake. So I think that's pretty as a picture. I don't know about you, but I'm going to give this a try. And let me see if I can just take a slice of this and try it for you. Got to make sure I get some chocolate. Here goes. Oh, yummy, that is absolutely delicious. And with that chocolate and that creme patisserie, I'm getting a sort of profiterole taste. Absolutely delicious. Anyway, you guys clear off. Let me have a little try of this. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it the thumbs up if you have. And if you decide to try it, send me some pictures. I'd love to hear how you get on. Be good, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. So it's not a Mille Crêpe, it is not a pancake, but it is a lot of fun and very tasty to eat. I'm going to leave some links up here to some other videos of mine. And as always, I'd love to hear your comments. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Be good.